What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the Salami Squad around the world? It's your boys, Mike Rogers, Mike Richman in the cut again. And we are back bringing you another Super Bowl video. Today we're getting into defense. What is up, Salami Squad? So we're going to just continue and we're going to dive deep right into the defenses again here. So, looking at the Chiefs side, we kind of had to pick someone to highlight on both sides. We went ahead with Tyrann Mathieu, the safety for the Kansas City Chiefs, a.k.a. the Honey Badger. Love that name, dude, because you know why? Because Honey Badger don't give a fuck. You remember that video? That's some early internet right there.
That's some classic tube days.
But so when Tyrann Mathieu obviously played college in LSU, and believe it or not, that's going to be a common theme of today. Turns out LSU drafts amazing talent. In 2013, Tyrann Mathieu was drafted in the third round, 69th pick overall to the Cardinals. Nice. He played his first 5 years in Arizona, spent 1 year with the Texans in 2018, realized that was a shit show, got the fuck out of there, signed with KC in 2019, and obviously got that ring in his first year at KC. I was looking on Wikipedia, stats, ESPN, etc. The career accolades that Tyrann Mathieu has is absolutely ridiculous, and it's too many for me to read off. Excuse me, so I'm going to go ahead and just say a few here. In college, he was first team All-SEC, SEC Defensive Player of the Year in 2011. He was a Heisman finalist. And then going to the pros, he was a three-time first-team All-Pro, two Pro Bowls, and, of course, like we just said, got that ring last year. So, that's insane. Looking at his 2020 season, he had 48 solo tackles along with 6 interceptions. And, he's just kind of been that rock, that defense there in KC. And this is a point I'm going to make about Tampa, but – looking at this KC defensive roster, there's really not too many star-studded dudes. Yeah. Definitely an offense-focused team. I'm not saying they're bums by any means, but it's just like, besides Tyrann Mathieu, there's not really too many huge names.
Yeah, well, Tyrann Mathieu specifically, like the past 10 years, Honey Badger, Eric Berry there for a long time, and Harrison Smith and whatnot. Those are the premier Jamal Adams, now premier safeties of the NFL. Obviously, Tyrann Mathieu had a great little 1-2 combo, him and Pat Pete there in Arizona. But, that's the thing about Kansas City's defense is obviously they're not bums. You got Frank Clark and whatnot. There's some guys on that defense. But, for the most part, a lot of times they just – I'm not going to say not do a lot, but just kind of have to do their job. They never really have to play that great.
They get like one turnover a game, couple third down stops. They're going to figure it out on offense. You're so right about that.
We can get some leeway. They could make a few mistakes or two because, like I said, that Kansas City team is just built around that just firepower the offense has. And the thing with the playoffs runs, though, they say defense does win championships. And Kansas City's defense for the past 2 years, these past 2 Super Bowl runs, obviously knows when to play and how to turn it on. So, that's the thing. Their defense, in a nutshell, is they get a little streaky during the regular season, but they know Mahomes is going to throw some bombs, so he's got it covered. So, I like Mathieu as the leader of that team. And
yeah, a great coverage guy. Looking at his season, he's got 6 picks on the season. Like, that's great. Like
from safety position, that's great for sure. Just a ball hawk, and we're going to get into the Bucs defense here, which I do like more. Vacuum, but hey man, Kansas City got a squad back there.
Yeah, for sure. So like you said, we'll hop on over to the other red team. On this team, like I said, it was a little bit hard to figure out who to highlight, but we went ahead with the boy
David.
Yeah, you could talk about him, but I went with Devin White here. So let's hop into his history a little bit. Another LSU guy, kind of following in the footsteps of, Tyrann Mathieu here. He's a new guy drafted by the Bucs in 2019, first round, 5th overall pick of the 2019 draft right here. And he had an absolutely insane rookie year. He set franchise rookie season records for most fumble recoveries, most forced fumbles in a single game, most defensive touchdowns. Just had an incredible rookie year. And then now looking at his 2020 year, shout out Eddie in the background, Cat. Looking at Devin White's 2020 year, he had 97 solo tackles. That's third most in the NFL. 9 sacks and a forced fumble in there. I mean, dude is just flying all around the field, dude, all up and down the gaff.
Yeah, just that linebacker position. And obviously, Devin White is emerging superstar, premier, coming up as one of the premier linebackers in this league for sure. But, he's been right there. He's had a great veteran in that boy, Levante David. To me, Levante David is like the T.Y. Hilton of defense, a guy that's just got great numbers, been around a long time, is always a perennial Pro Bowler. But I just feel like doesn't really get talked about as he should. Levante David's going to end his career with 1,000 tackles. And like I said, great
numbers.
That's
incredible. That's hard to do.
That's hard to do, man. He's been on that team for a long time, but that team's just been really crappy for most of his career. He hasn't really gotten to shine. And all through the season, they ended the season with the number 1 rush defense. When we're talking Shaq Barrett, who obviously breakout season last year, who got franchise tagged in the offseason, we're talking Shaq Barrett. We're talking JPP. We're talking the flying Hawaiian Vita Vea, big
they got
body
Ndamukong Suh up front. I mean, they got Sean Murphy-Bunting in the background. I mean, this defense is as star-studded as the offense. I mean, the Bucs built this thing not just only on offense. And I personally forgot that. Like you just said, a couple other stats here. One of them is the Bucs have the number 1 rated rush defense in the league. I did not really realize that all season.
Trevin's killer.
Yeah, straight up just number 1 least yard in every category, yards allowed, touchdowns, etc. So, I mean, that defense, like you said, in a vacuum, I do like them a bit better than the Chiefs. But we've been saying this all season, the Chiefs defense just knows how to turn on when they need to. And this is the fucking Super Bowl. So it's now or never, boys.
So one of the things, that I do like the Bucs defense obviously way more. But, I mean, one of the arguments I could make against that is – obviously having that number 1 rush offense, and especially their secondary being young, obviously Murphy Bunting, Antoine Whitfield Jr., who are great and have played really great in the playoffs. But obviously they're a rush defense first. And I mean, Kansas City, for more or less, obviously they're going to try to implement some run game, but at the end of the day, they don't fucking have to. Patrick Mahomes put that rock in his hand and sling that sucker, so hopefully them guys in the secondary and Devin White, Levante David can get some good drop back coverage.
Sean Murphy-Bunting.
You're going to hear Sean Murphy's Bunting name probably a few too many times. Like I said, Antoine Winfield and Carlton Davis, the third man. They got some good young studs there in the secondary. So I hope they can step up, or Patrick Mahomes just going to take advantage of them boys. But I do like their defense more, and hopefully, I think they can step up. I think they can. I'm obviously not shut Patty Mahomes down to Patty Mahomes, but I think it's a solid enough defense in the front 7 to where they're going to get pressure on them. And I think if those young guys in the secondary can keep their head on, it's great. They can make some plays happen for sure.
I agree with you. I definitely think there's going to be a very pass-heavy game. Neither of these teams are really known for their running backs. Check out the other video. But just one last stat I want to throw into this here before we get out here. The Chiefs have the worst rated 32nd red zone defense in the league. Their opponent has a 74% chance to score a touchdown in the red zone. And like obviously going against Tom Brady here, that's the last thing you want.
That's the last thing you want right there.
So they're literally the worst red zone defense. I mean, take these stats, take these trends how you will. It's going to be a great game no matter how we look at it. So, these were the defenses. Shot down Tyrann Mathieu, Devin White, and the rest of the squads, boy. I mean, everyone's there in the running. Everyone's got that conference championship belt.
They're there for a reason.
That's what I'm saying. So that's it. We meet Peck. We out of here.